The more I'm continuing to learn about him, the more I'm inspired by him. He really took a team that was 10-1 and flipped that team around. And it's not just in going for the win, it's about, I think, the preparation for the win.
I didn't know that much about Vince Lombardi, but I know a lot more now. And Marie was his biggest, well, his best friend, for sure, and his biggest support. She understood him inside and out.
Play Lombardi, albeit about one of the greatest football coaches in the NFL, is really not a play about football. It's a play about leadership and mentorship. It takes place in 1965. That was an extraordinary year in the history of this country. It was a year when leadership in our country was really questioned. Even though that doesn't really get deeply explored in the play, it is the background to the play. It does inform the tone of the play.
He led the way in integrating that team.
He would not let the football players stay anywhere or go anywhere that was not all-inclusive. So his black players and his white players, if they could not be together, he would not stay there. He would not allow any of his players to go there.
It's awesome getting a chance to play Dave Robinson. Probably one of the most interesting parts about playing a real character is getting a chance to dive into the real history of the person, getting a chance to see some of the work that he did, getting a chance to hear his actual voice, taking a little time warp back into the 60s and learning about this man, Lombardi, who was a legend and still is a legend. A chance to see some of the trailblazing things that he stood for, not just as a coach, but as a man. And I guess the part that Dave Robinson got a chance to play in that was being an African-American player on the team during that time.
So one of the things that I think is really interesting about this play when we talk about the kind of period style of it is my research has been a lot of what was the media like in the 60s and how did people respond to that. And, you know, we can't help having a play done in 2021 and think about what our relationship to the media is now. And there is just sometimes a healthy and sometimes a dysfunctional relationship between what's being covered by the reporters, what's being said, how the story is told. How did our relationship with the media change from the 60s until now? What does a play like this mean in 2021? And my character in particular is trying to say, how can I do justice to both the individual as well as the story?
And the struggle of this man to insist on a moral compass and insisting on discipline. And that is something that I think never goes away and that this country maybe needs now more than ever.